Hopefully you are well today. Welcome to another CommunityFIT and MoveLab. Today's class is going to be based on some feedback we had the other day. I posed a question and I'm going to pose it again. If there is something you'd like to learn, if there is an idea, a concept, an exercise, a region of the body that you're interested in demystifying, creating a better relationship with, we're open to that. So today's class is driven by some feedback we got the other day. So we're going to have sort of a lower body heavy class today. Doesn't mean we're not going to move the entire body, because that's what we do in MoveLab. But we are going to have a low body heavy day today. So I'm going to invite you to sit, stand, lie down, be comfortable, whatever that means for you. And remember that there's only one rule for MoveLab, and that is whatever you're doing, you are doing it totally correctly. There is absolutely no wrong way to move. Just options and choices. So when you get brushed up against your comfort zone today and you go, am I doing this right? The answer is yes. Having said that, let's go into some breathing. I want you to take your favorite hand and I want you to place it somewhere on your body. Wherever it is, it's going to stay. And I want you to breathe into wherever that hand is touching, as if all of your breath could enter into your body and go wherever that hand is touching. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. And an inhale. And exhale. Doesn't matter how you breathe, how much, how little. It's not a breathing competition. We're just breathing into wherever we're touching. Now, without too much thought, move your hand somewhere else. Breathe into that space. Then let your other hand move somewhere else and breathe into that space. Now, sometimes we think, well, I don't have lungs in my legs, James. I can't breathe there. It's about cellularly breathing. It's about an imaginary-ish breath that goes all the way through the body and sort of inflates, hydrates, oxygenates that area. Now, go on a little internal journey. Where do you feel tight, tense, stressed today? And put your hands there. Breathing into that. Knowing that you can breathe anywhere in your body you want to, even if you don't have your hands there. So just pick some spot in the body and breathe into that space. Now, this feels good. Stay here, do that. Now, bring your hands together, get them warmed up. Take your nice warm hands, place them on the front of your throat. Take some breath into that. Let your big heavy head sink. Right hand goes onto left throat. Big heavy right hand drags to middle as I twist my face to the left. Over here, big heavy hand. Again, big heavy hand. Big heavy hand. We're priming the nervous system, getting ready for some movement. I pick my hands up, do a little shake. And then for today, let's do a little seaweed spine. So sitting comfortably, I just allow my spine to rock right and left. And maybe the visual here is sea kelp or seaweed, some kind of sea grass being moved right and left. And am I allowing my tailbone to move, my low back and sacrum to move, my rib spine and ribs to move, my neck, spine, jaw, and head to move? And then find your center. Allow yourself to kind of rock back, holding onto your legs and forth. It's like a seaweed spine. If you watched it from the side, it's sort of like a seaweed spine from the side. Forward and back. Inspiration being ocean currents, kind of moving in and moving out. How would I move like the tide? Now, as we explore, if you start to hold some tension in your low back, in your ribs, because if you are someone who experiences leg tension, foot tension, if low body exercises is hard for you, your back, your trunk, your spine is going to want to overcompensate today, and it's going to want to get really tight and tense on you. That's your job to monitor. It's your job to own that today and go, oh, I'm starting to feel that. Maybe I should do some seaweed spine. Maybe I should breathe into that area that wants to get tight. Your job. My job is to take us on a journey of some options today. So we're going to have to start with our feet if we're going to do low body. So we're going to take our fingers, right hand, left foot, interlaced. I kind of turn like this so you can see this. Interlaced, and I'm just going to massage or move through the ankle and the foot. Now, if you can't interlace your fingers, just think, how am I going to get some movement in my foot and my ankle today? Now, if you notice, I'm allowing the whole body to do it. I'm just not down here in the foot. It's like a full body experience. And then I can reverse. Then I can take and cup the heel and take my other hand and hold on to the forefoot, and I wring them out like a washcloth. It's like a ring and a ring and a ring and a ring. This is the quick and easy, simplified foot massage. And then I can take and just kind of pound at the bottom there. Good. And then just sit for a moment and just appreciate any difference you might feel in right foot versus left foot. What is the experience there? For me, this leg that I just worked on feels a little longer, feels a little wider, feels a little softer. This one just feels kind of clumpish at the foot. It's not quite alive as much as this leg. So I'm going to take this leg, do a little interlace. Come on, fingers. And get this guy going. Now, some options. Over last summer, we did a lot of work with the pillows. So you can throw a pillow, you can throw a blanket, something soft on the floor, kind of knead it with your feet. Or if you've been doing that, if you've been, and reverse your circle, if you've been working on your feet because you've been on MoveLab or because you've self-discovered that it's important to work on your feet, maybe you're ready to go outside barefoot and walk on grass, walk in sand, walk on gravel, on bark, on tree roots. That is how you're going to get truly supple and soft, smart, strong, flexible feet. In the meantime, do this. Then we're going to take and do a little wringing out. The reason I said start with something like a pillow is sometimes people hear, oh, I'm supposed to walk outside barefoot. So they go and do it and then it hurts and they don't do it anymore. You got to start, just like all MoveLab classes, where it feels important for me to be at. Does it feel important still to be on the pillow or on carpet? Where does that need to be? Then pounding. Beautiful. Right leg goes straight, left leg gets pulled into you. My chest goes over this leg, and then it goes over this leg. Super relaxed, no rules, just moving. I can think seaweed spine. Just kind of relaxed and moving, not holding a stretch. especially if you sit in chairs a lot. And then like the hamstring or the glutes or the low back hurts you and you're like, oh, that needs stretch. No, it doesn't. It's already probably overstretched. What it needs is contraction. It needs a squeeze. And then reverse. We think sometimes that all pain in the muscle is from like contraction or muscles being stiff, shortened, and that's not true. A muscle that is stuck long or overly stretched is as symptomatic as a muscle that is overly contracted. You got to discern, does this thing need to be stretched or does it need to be squeezed? Good. Now, if this was difficult for you, stay here, do this. You're like, I'm ready for more, James. Hold your leg like a little baby and rock a little baby. And then you can set that leg down. You can pick up your other little baby here and rock this little baby. And then set that down. Let's go down onto the floor here. Once we're down on the floor, you're just going to let yourself sink and relax into the floor. From there, I've got my feet right at about hip distance width. I'm going to let the right leg open up and then come back. And then the left leg opens up. Now, this is where you have to do some work and figure out. James said, let the leg open up. Am I letting the leg and all of me go? Or is it truly just the leg? Can it be just the leg? The answer today might be no. It might be super hard for you. One more to each side. Put your arms down. Figure out where your legs need to be in order to go up into your bridge. And then come back down. I have to push down to go up. See if, do I feel I have 10 toes, 9 toes, 8 toes, however many toes you got? Do I feel like I have that many toes on the floor? Does it feel like I have a heel and an outside of my foot? Does it feel like I have an arch? Does it feel like I have all my fingers in the palms and armpits and head pushing against the floor? And then as I come down, do I feel my body imprint, lie down, connect with the floor? And is there a pause, a period, a moment of relaxation before I repeat? I go up. Now, sometimes we value symmetry over the experience, meaning I think this is where I should have my feet. This is where James has his. I should do that. The answer is no. For me today, I feel like I need to move my left foot out to the left a bit and left arm out to the left. Now, as I go up, I feel more connected with my left side, meaning I feel like I've got toes and fingers over there. I didn't move my right at all. And back down. Again. And back down. Now see if that's still where you need to be, or do you need to migrate somewhere else with a foot or an arm? Once you've figured out where you need to be with your feet and your arms, you're going to stay up. I'm going to go up. I'm going to keep my left hip as high as it is, and I'm going to let my right hip drop. And then I'm going to lift my right hip, and then I'm going to let my left hip drop. I'm going to lift it back up. Right drops, right foot pushes down to relift. Left deactivates. Left leg pushes down, and I'm up. Right, up. Left, up. Right, up. Left, up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll to the right and roll to the left. And I'm rolling and rolling. Here in a moment, I'm going to have you roll all the way over to your belly. Roll to your belly in a way that you can still kind of see the screen here. That's going to be important. Then we're going to take our right leg out to the right with a bent knee. So this is approximately a 90-degree bend at my hip joint and approximately a 90-degree bend at my knee and approximately a 90-degree bend at my foot. So flat-footed, knee parallel to the hip, foot underneath knee. With that, I'm going to pay attention. How close is the front of my groin, the front of my hip joint to the floor? Can I get it any closer? The answer may be no, and that's fine. But however close it currently is, this is homework for you. This is for you to do. However close it is, can it stay that close? That's the exercise. Because I guarantee you're going to want to lift it away, push it into the floor, move it all over the place. It's a moment for you to go, huh, am I moving through there or am I not? Figure it out. From there, I'm going to make the choice to lift that right foot off the ground and set it back down. I'm going to lift it and back down. Now, I'm not going to move my hip joints. I'm not going to move my spine. I'm not going to move my knee. It's simply rotating up and back down. Up and down. 2 more. Up and down. Up and down. Now, here's the tricky one. If that feels like it's important, stay there, do that. Here is a very tricky one. Can I keep my groin down, my pelvis down, my foot down, and now really try to lift that knee off the floor and back down? That knee tries to lift. Here's what you're going to do. Guaranteed, you're going to go, I can lift that knee. I can roll and lift that knee. Maybe today it's just about putting a hand back there and going, where's that butt cheek? Does it even know how to contract in this orientation? Do I even know how? Can I figure out how that might even happen? Like just a, oh, where is that? Might be enough today. Or if you've been doing this for a bit, maybe there's a lift and a lower, a lift and a lower. 3, 2, 1. And release. Then we're going to take the other leg. I'm going to flip over. You don't have to, just so that you can kind of keep an eye on what it is that I'm doing. Leg goes out, foot is flexed, orienting my body. Where am I in space? Foot lift and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. 2 more, up and down. 1 more, up and down. Now I'm going to keep that foot down. This is a harder side for me, and that's totally fine. I just have to really monitor that I'm just trying to lift. Again. 5 more. Last 3. 2 and 1. And straighten that leg out. Bend both knees. Feet touch, knees open up to mat distance. Right foot traces the inside of the left leg. Left leg traces the inside of the right leg. Tracing and tracing. Tracing and tracing. One more on each side. And then slide the legs straight. Flip over onto your side. Top arm is gonna lift up towards the ceiling. Now, if you wanna support your head, if you wanna be on your elbow, if you wanna lay all the way down, your choice, figure it out. Top foot comes up and tries its best to touch and go. Touch and go. Here's what happens so much. It's like, oh, can't make it, that's good enough. No, it's not. I want you to try to lift, and maybe you need to bend, maybe you need to roll. It's a task. To me, it's like if I saw an apple in a tree and I'm like, oh, can't reach it, guess I'm not gonna have the apple. It's, oh, I'd bring a ladder. I would come up to my tiptoes. I might climb a tree. How would I get there? What feels like a doable way to get to the destination? 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if that's enough work for you, stay there and try that. If not, here we go. We're gonna lift that leg up to about hip height. We're gonna stretch that heel as if it's going to touch the wall furthest away from us. Now, with your heel, I want you to begin to, in imaginary cursive, write your name on that wall. Your full name. Reaching for that wall. Make it readable. And then rest. If you want more, stretch that leg out in front of you to the best of your ability. Flex it flat. The bottom leg, reach it to that wall. Lift your top leg, lower the leg. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 4, lift, 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 and relax. Take the top leg, bend it, stretch it behind you, let the top arm reach forward, and then swap, and swap, and swap, swap. Other side. However you get there, you get there. Top arm lifts up, foot to hand, and back down. Foot to hand, and down. Touch and go. Touch and go. 2 more. Up, up. Now, take the top leg, reach it up at hip height. With your heel, draw right cursive, figure out how to spell your name on that wall. Take the top leg, reach it in front of you to the best of your ability today. Lift it up, lower it down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 2, 1. Bend your knee. Stretch it through. Reach. And release. Now, if those exercises, if those movement strategies that we just did are hard for you, you know, MoveLab doesn't normally have a lot of isolated this is for this is for that movements to it. We're more about bigger movements, complex movements. But sometimes, especially with how much we sit in office chairs, sit on the couch, sit in our cars, sometimes we need to wake up portions of our body. So what you just had there were some stretches, some mobility exercises, and some strength building exercises for the feet up into the hips. Now, let's get into more complex, functional, real world experiences through there. So we're going to tuck our toes. We're going to go back and forth. Now, the reason I have my toes tucked is I want my feet to push me forward today. Bounce, bounce, feet push me, arms decelerate me. Push, push, forward. Push, push, forward. 2, and 1 more. Now keep your hands where they are. Right foot is going to come up and visit right hand. Then I'm going to sort of lean over into right foot and lean backwards into left foot. Right foot gets a visit, left foot gets a visit. Right foot, left foot. Maybe I don't even need my arms. Maybe I can stay low and just get in through here. And then switch sides. Forward into the foot, backwards into the foot, forward, and back, forward, and back. Exploring and playing. And then find your center. Now, point your feet, let your big toes touch, and sit back, cupped in between your heels to the best of your ability today. Orient yourself so that your head is somewhere in relationship, stacked on top of, with your sacrum and pelvis as you go up and as you go down. Here's what happens so much. I throw my head up, pelvis. It's not what we're looking for today. We want to build up some integrity, some strength, some wisdom down in these legs. Three, 2, 1 more. From there, today we're just going to come up, however it is that you find your way up to a standing. And from there, we're going to open up our feet relatively wide for today. And we're going to go down into a squat. Maybe your squat looks like this, and then you're up. Maybe you need a chair. And your squat might be, I sit in a chair, I come back up. Figure out where the beginnings of your squat is for today. It might be real wide. You might need some assistance here. I want you to think, am I moving through hip joints, knees, ankles, toes? Do I have all my toes with me? Can I recognize where my head and my pelvis actually are? And maybe this is where you're at. Maybe we want to go down and over up. We go down and translate weights to the right. And there's a little seaweed spine. Or maybe I want my feet a little bit closer. And maybe my squat is down and up. Maybe I go down, over, up. Or reverse. Maybe one foot comes in front and then moves back. And then the other foot gets to move. And back. so that there's a full expression of leg movement here. Maybe I even want to lift heels. And lift that heel. Lift and lift. Up and then just rotate. Take your pelvis and kind of rotate it to the left. Rotate it to the right. Maybe even lift a foot. Lift. 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 3, 2, 1. And just walk around your space. Walk around your space and think to yourself, what was 1, 2, or 3 experiences from today that felt really important? Collect them into your hands, put them onto your chest, and tell yourself thank you for showing up today, and take those experiences with you. You did a really good thing. Take a look around your space, what you pushed into, what you looked to reach to. You're connected to your world. You're a part of it. And take a look at anyone here on screen, anyone in the room with you, dogs, cats, small animals included, and tell your community, thank you. We are interconnected, and we thank you for being part of our community and inviting us into yours. So thank you guys so much. I'll stick around for some questions. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow for Stress Reset.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you so much, James. Appreciate it. Just wanted to make that announcement again in case any of you missed it in the beginning. If you would like the links to the recorded sessions, please just email me at communityfit@westernhealth.com. I put it in the chat, and I will send you the links. Side note, they are just the raw links, so we haven't done anything to dress them up and make them pretty, but at least you'll have all of the classes from this session, so you can go back and revisit any pieces that you feel are helpful to you or you want to make sure you remember. So communityfit@westernhealth.com, and I will send you the links. All right, any questions in there for you, James?
Doesn't look like it. I noticed my jaw getting tight. So we have a question. I noticed my jaw getting tight when first starting the hip work. Great focused exercise. I got to work out. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things going on there. The jaw is going to house the majority of our stress. That's that vagus nerve coming up into trigeminal nerve, which we talk a lot about in Stress Reset. And the hips and pelvis holds on to a lot of stress. So as your body's going, oh, I've got to let go of this here, where else is it going to go? And it shoots up to here. That's that whole notice. We're going to do this thing for the spine, everybody. Some of you are going to need this. And sure enough, it goes somewhere else.
Yeah, I actually do notice that too. I carry a lot of stress in my hips, but I notice it transfer to my jaw.
Oh yeah.
Like when I'm driving, sometimes I notice oh, I'm holding my hips really way too tight, and then I'll relax them and all of a sudden my jaw gets tight. It's like, okay, I gotta move it out somehow.
Yeah, no, yesterday was a cumulatively stressful day for me. It's not like one thing. It's not like, oh, that thing happened and it stressed me out. It was like little thing. And even today, my jaw on this side, up into my head, up into this neck area is just unhappy today. And, knowing the Stress Reset work, instead, I could easily say, oh man, that's like stupid jaw, stupid neck, blah, blah. Instead, it's like, gosh, man, look at that wise body taking care of me, letting me know that something is off. What am I going to do with this information? And so today I'm just more, oh, take it easy. You don't need to get work done today, James. Emails will go out tomorrow, James. You're fine. So once you start creating that relationship with your body, we stop expecting things to always be good, and then we stop finger pointing when things go bad. And it's like, oh, look at that. That's just my body doing what it's supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah, wise, great.
Okay,
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow for Stress Reset. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.